What is happening, people? It's your boy, Big Will, Minute, coming at you with your Raw review for March 27th from Philly, Philly. It's the Go Home Show. Last Raw before WrestleMania. As you can see, Captain Picard did make another appearance on this review with the face palm, because in my opinion, it was a whack ass Go Home show. Really didn't do anything if you were on the fence to like make you go, "Oh my God, I really have to watch this WrestleMania." And we start out with Bayley in the ring to cut a promo. Bayley's kind of horrible on the mic. She still comes off as not really knowing what she's saying, not really being very believable on the mic. Great in-ring ability, somewhat. She's kind of, but Bayley, she's taking a nosedive in my opinion since she came to the main roster. She should have went to SmackDown. Yes, me. So she talks about the whole thing about they play up on her being a fan. They're still on that kick. She talks about how she used to have her dad order WrestleMania. And all her friends would get together and they would watch WrestleMania on TV. And now this year, she's actually going to be in WrestleMania. So then Charlotte comes down. Charlotte's taking a nosedive too. I mean, the women's division of Raw was really. I never thought not having Charlotte and Sasha face each other all the time, when it was happening all the time, when they stopped doing it, I never thought it would hurt the division, and it has. So Charlotte has come down and basically, belittling Bayley like she always does. She basically ends up showing her this tweet that Sasha posted. Is basically a match between her and between Sasha and Charlotte, from when they used to be the best of friends, but they end up becoming bitter enemies. And it says, "Keep your friends close and your enemies closer." It's kind of what the caption is. She calls Bayley a fangirl. He calls Bayley a paper champion, which basically she is. Then Sasha comes down, so you can kind of get the gist of what's going on here. Sasha comes down and basically says, Charlotte talking the same old stuff, saying her relationship that she had with Charlotte is nothing compared to the friendship that she has with Bayley. Whatever. Then Nia Jax comes down, basically saying that that title is about to have some prestige again because Nia's taking that title home come Mania. So then they all start to fight. Go to commercial, come back from commercial, so we got a tag team match between Charlotte and Nia Jax versus Bayley and Sasha Banks. Now, a couple highlights from this match. I did like how when Sasha and Charlotte tied up, they show some real anger, some real storytelling here, because then they tied up. They tie up into spilling all the way out of the ring, which is pretty cool. And then Sasha had a nice cross body on the Charlotte for a near fall. It was nice. And then she also blast Sasha off of the apron, which was nice. We went to another commercial. And then at the commercial, a couple of the highlights was Charlotte, doing her father thing, with the woos and, taking the knee pad down, dropping the knees. She even did the strut a little bit, you know. Nia dropped a couple of nice double elbows on Sasha, which they just look real nasty because Sasha is so big. I'm so little and Nia is so big, so those look real nasty. And then did a backbreaker by Charlotte on Sasha. That was pretty nasty. Real nasty backbreaker. She hit that really well. And then, Bayley does a little comeback move. Like if you played 2K17, everybody has like a comeback move. Or they've had it in the entire 2K series where they do a series of their like infamous moves on their little comeback. So Bayley went through hers. You know, and she ended up hitting a Bailey hit a side suplex on Charlotte that was pretty nice. So the Charlotte hits the figure eight on Bailey, and Sasha breaks that up. That was a culmination of the match. And then Charlotte goes for the big boot, which she's been kind of using as like a lazy finisher here lately. She goes for the big boot, and Bailey blocks it with a Bailey to belly to pick up the win. So it was a decent match, but then Nia just takes out everybody at the end of that match. She takes out all three, and so then Nia stands tall with the belt, which was cool to see. I'm opposed to her being in this match this early, but it was cool to see her standing tall with the belt at the end to close out that segment. So they go to commercial. We get that Seth and Triple H little recap video about what happened with them last week. We also get a recap of what happened, with Mick Foley, last week. All that drama that happened. So then we get Sami Zayn backstage with an interview, basically saying he's acknowledging that he's going to be in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. And but then Stephanie comes out and basically, she's still on her Sami Zayn kick. Basically tells Sami that if he wants to be in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, then he has to win a no disqualification match against Kevin Owens, and if he loses, then he's fired. So they're playing the whole underdog from the underground thing with Sami Zayn, which is cool. He does that really well. That's what he thrives on. Good, they're getting him back to that. I wish that he would have an actual match at WrestleMania, not just a Andre the Giant Battle Royal. But we'll see. So then we get Austin Aries versus Noam Dar with Alicia Fox in his corner. Because Cedric Alexander is hurt, so they got to try to keep Fox relevant, which she isn't. She should be wrestling in the Divas division instead of being a valet for a nobody out of the cruiserweights. And Neville's on commentary. A couple highlights from this match. Well, as soon as Noam Dar is like leaning outside the ring trying to blow a kiss to Alicia Fox, and Austin Aries hits him with a nasty exploder drop kick in the corner, and then they go to commercial. So kind of lets you know that this is going to be a nice match. Come back on commercial. A couple of highlights. Nice little uppercut by Dar. Aries is a nice face buster. He did his little combo move that went into his pendulum elbows. Of course, he hits his heat-seeking missile, which is still nasty. That's a nasty move. He hits a nasty standing elbow. I mean, he looked like he hits that thing so flush. Man, I almost think that he had to take him out. He had a concussion or something. Then follow that up with the discus 5-arm. I saw both of those in a row. Wouldn't surprise me if you check the dirt sheets today and Noam Dar has a concussion. And then we finally can see the last chancery, the submission move for the win by Austin Aries. It's gonna be a good match. It's gonna be a good match between him and Neville. Looking forward to that. Then we get a Triple H recap about the whole harmless agreement between him and Seth. About Seth going to show up and sign the agreement so they can have they unsanctioned match at Mania. So they go to commercial. Come back from commercial. We get more of an Undertaker tease for the night. Apparently Undertaker's going to show up. Then Seth comes down to the ring to get this contract signed thing. Of course, he's selling the knee. He comes down limping and has the crutches, the whole nine. I love that Kingslayer t-shirt that he's rocking now. I may have to get that. Then Triple H comes down to the ring with the contract, basically telling Seth, sit down, sign this, so we can sign this contract. but he wanted him to sit down first because he basically going through a whole spiel of telling him, you know what you're getting into. Because once his contract is signed, I'm gonna basically destroy you, tear your leg apart. It goes through the whole thing of what he's done for him and listen to these fans, just put up the division he's in. You know, you know, so, and if he touches him before they sign this, then the match is off. Self refuses to sit down. He tells him, "Oh, you want to sit down? Okay, match is off." So of course, Seth sits down. CM Punk chants are going crazy. Triple H cuts a decent promo, typical Triple H promo that like we've been seeing since this feud started. He does hit a couple of points. He makes it. One thing he did say that I thought was pretty cool. I'm not gonna mention the rest because it's typical Triple H. But it was like, if you ain't making enemies, then you ain't making money. Basically telling Seth, gotta do what you gotta do to be the man here. You don't need fans. You rather, saying, I'd rather have a nice house than friends. I'd rather live lavish, flying jets, than be loved by people. You know what I'm saying? It's all about that money, taking care of business. Seth starts talking and it sounds like straight face turn. I mean, I know people have been cheering for him, but I'm talking about he could be a straight face now because Seth starts talking about how he liked himself before he met Triple H. He turned his back on all his friends. He did it all to stand next to Triple H, and now he regrets all of it. So he wants to face Triple H so he can become himself again. You know what I'm saying? So then he signs the contract. As soon as he signs it, Triple H pushes the table into his knee. Seth selling the knee. Triple H think it's gonna be like last week, or 2 weeks ago, and gonna beat him down again. But Seth hits a one-legged enziguri. Nice. You know. Then he goes for the pedigree. Get a counter. He counters him, sends him outside the ring. Then he tries to get back in the ring, and Seth grabs a crutch or whatever, and so Seth kind of standing tall, let him know that we're gonna have this match, and I'm gonna come with it. I don't know how that's gonna work. He's kind of selling that leg. So unsanctioned, there's gonna be some weapons involved. That's right down Triple H's alley. Triple H has better matches when he's using foreign objects, in my opinion. So then we get a Goldberg and Lesnar SummerSlam video. They talk about that. Hit the commercial. Then they hit a replay of what just happened with Triple H and Seth. Then we get an over-the-top rope challenge, but which basically is Big Show throwing Jinder Mahal out, throwing Bo Dallas out, throwing the Shining Stars out. Then out comes the Golden Truth and Curtis Axel. And they jump on Big Show. Then everybody else gets in the ring, and they eliminate Big Show. The Big Show get back in the ring and destroys all them. And then Golden Truth, last one standing, they like, nah, dog, think we cool. We gonna get up out of here. And Braun Strowman's music hits. Braun Strowman come down there and basically teases coming in the ring for Big Show, but he doesn't do it. So they're kind of setting up that it's probably gonna come down to Big Show and Braun Strowman in the Battle Royal. Sami Zayn probably gonna have something to do with that too, but I do think we're gonna have a surprise from NXT. It's gonna come up for that Battle Royal also. So don't be surprised if that happens, because that seems to be their platform for bringing people up. Expect, Perfect 10, Todd Dillinger. Expect to see him in that. See, then we get the tag team champ match recap. They talk about, the participants in that. It's going to be a fatal four-way. Talk about how that went down. So we get Gallows and Anderson backstage, and it was a stupid promo. They're basically making fun of Big Cass and Enzo, and man, they made these guys out to be such a joke now. It's so ridiculous what they done with Anderson and Gallows. Hope they finally let these dudes let loose so they can show us what they got. I hope so. Then we get another Taker tease. Then we go to commercial. Roman's backstage. basically saying, his yard, he the man. He gonna go out there and let everybody know, you know, what he gonna do to take her. So then they show a little video package in the New Day. They was on Wall Street. They got to ring the bell. They were Wall Street, and they also showed them running the steps in Philly, like the infamous Rocky steps. And Xavier and Kofi race up the steps, and Big E kind of like, nah. But then when they get up the steps, Big E's already there. So the Big E superpowers, I guess. It was cool, little funny segment. Good to see that they're still keeping them on TV. Hate that they're not in the ring anymore, but they still keeping them on TV. Luster's going to end pretty soon with them, unfortunately, if they don't get them back in the ring. I don't know if somebody's hurt or what's going on, why they're not wrestling anymore. This even before the whole Page scandal happened, they wasn't wrestling, so can't really blame it on that. But them not putting them out in front of crowds, primarily because they know that there's going to be some type of Page chance. They put them out in front of crowds again. But that's probably why they're not in the ring, which is bullshit, but it's whatever. Then we get the Sheamus and Cesaro backstage interview, and in the middle of their interview, they get attacked by Anderson and Gallows. And since we are in Philly, it was straight ECW style, which was cool. I like seeing Omega, Anderson, and Gallows monsters. I enjoyed this. I am okay with what happened backstage. It made them look strong. They get nice attack, nice backstage attack, and of course the crowd was chanting ECW, which I'm okay with when we're in Philly. Next is going to be Neville against Jack Gallagher. But they go to commercial first. And this was a pretty good match. A couple highlights from this match. Of course, Gallagher did his headlock escape, and then he did his handstand in the corner where, the person runs towards him and he puts the foot out to him. He's been doing that since the Cruiserweight Open. Neville did a nice release German after he Irish whipped Gallagher off the ropes. Nasty. Never seen him do that before. That was a nasty, nasty move. Really enjoyed that. Of course, they go to commercial. After they come back from commercial, Neville does this little flurry of kicks, little karate kicks. And then they get thrown into the ropes. And I don't know if Gallagher was supposed to hit a headbutt here, if they just kind of butted heads, but they had a nasty collision. The announcers said it was a headbutt by Gallagher. I think they were just trying to save face, because he didn't actually throw a headbutt, but I think they did hit heads. So don't know if that was a botch or what really happened there, but the replay, that looked extremely, extremely nasty. So then Gallagher, I guess they're calling this the Mary Poppins now, where he grabs his umbrella, who Sir Winnington or some British name he has for his umbrella. He opens it up, goes on the top rope, and does a suicide dive, like plancha type thing on his opponent with the umbrella out, and they're calling that the Mary Poppins. It was cool, funny. So then Neville hits a suplex into the rings of Saturn for the win, which was pretty cool. That's going to be a great match between Neville and Austin Aries. So then right after the match, Austin Aries little thing hits with the AANR, little Austin Aries I guess national report or something like that, where he's backstage already in his like interview gear. And he says he has an exclusive interview and he has a New Day. And he asked them, who they think is going to win between, himself and Neville. They said, well, the winner is the person who has the best hips. So show us those hips. And he's like, guys, I'm not going to dance. Well, we'll tell you that Sunday I will be your new WWE Cruiserweight Champion. And he does the New Day, and they all kind of moving their hips and dancing. And it was a cool little moment. They say, Austin rocks. And he's kind of He's kind of dancing along. They cut to the ring, and Neville's doing the golf clap. So then they cut to commercial. We get Enzo and Cass versus Anderson and Gallows. And of course, Enzo and Cass come out to do they whole, can't teach that stick. But Cass, because they in Philly, right? So they do this whole thing where we talking about practice. The whole Allen Iverson talking about practice. I swear they letting Cass do more and more of the talking, which doesn't bode well for Enzo. Pretty sure Enzo's either going to be going to the cruiserweight division or becoming a full-time manager because they about to push Cass. They about to push Cass. Same as, so out comes Anderson and Gallows, and Sheamus and Cesaro take them out with the ladder, ECW style, on the ramp. I was like, okay, got their revenge. But then Anderson and Gallows get a hold of the ladder, and they take everybody out eventually. And the crowd is chanting ECW. So, of course, we're in Philly, so we should be expecting that. Then they cut to the Women's History Month, and this time they honor Maya Angelou. Much respect for Miss Angelou. Much respect. So then we get Kevin Owens backstage. And there's an interview with one of those nobody chicks backstage, and he berates her for calling Chris Jericho his best friend, and he says that now he has a chance to not only beat Sami Zayn but end Sami Zayn's career. So, which is for that feud, like people have said before, those two could not feud for a year, and you could have them fight each other, and that feud is instantly back on. So, I'm all for them fighting each other as much as possible, because they always gonna bring it. So then they show another Triple H and Seth replay, and along with a video package about how this all came to fruition. Nice video package. WWE's video packages are always pretty good. Really enjoyed that video package. So then we get KO versus Sami Zayn. No disqualification match. And if Sami Zayn loses, he's fired. Which I was kind of hoping it would happen, because then he can go to SmackDown and flourish. But we can still hope for the next draft for that. Get a commercial first. Come back. Some highlights of this match. Nice clothesline by Sami Zayn. Kind of like an exploder clothesline. These two know each other so well, so they go outside the ring. KO does an Irish Rip on Sami, where he normally jumps on the barricade and flips off. But when he jumps up there, Sami pushes him off into the crowd, and they kind of fight in the crowd for a little bit. So then while they're in the crowd, they work their way up to the top of the stage, and Sami hits a Tope con Hilo off the stage. He hits that so well. Cut the commercial, come back. Of course, Philly crowd is chanting, "We want tables," which was cool. Crowd was really into this. Crowd was really into it. Of course, Sami hits his spinning tornado DDT. Like when he goes through the turnbuckles, and nice little DDT on the steps by KO. A running turnbuckle clothesline by KO. Exploder suplex by Sami. Sami goes for the Halua kick. KO counters with a super kick. We get a frog splash from KO. Sami hits a blue thunder bomb to counter the pop-up power bomb, and out comes Samoa Joe. I'm like, uh-oh, here we go. That's what I'm saying. I know we've seen it so many times, but I would still like to see Samoa Joe and Sami Zayn fight at WrestleMania. So Samoa Joe starts coming out. to try to get involved in the match. But here comes Y2J with a chair, beats the shit out of Samoa Joe, and then Sammy rolls up KO for the pin. So Sammy's officially in the Battle Royal, and he's not fired. So then he proceeds, Y2J proceeds to clear house with the chair, standing pretty tall, and of course, they ended with you telling KO that he just made a list, and KO sells that he sells making a list like he just got fired or something, like it's like the worst thing in the world, and they cut the commercial. So now, mind you, it's 10 o'clock now, end of the show normally, and we still ain't seen the Brock and Goldberg confrontation. So I'm like, okay, they're gonna go overtime just to have these two come out. So of course Brock and Heyman come out, cut a promo, typical Heyman promo. I don't even listen to Heyman's promo no more. He always has some shtick that he's gonna be the bulk of the promo. But of course, with them being in Philly, some ECW chants, Philly loves Heyman. Heyman basically, I think, cusses out Goldberg in like Hebrew and Latin. I don't know. And Goldberg comes out, basically tells Brock that, these people didn't come here to hear them talk. They came here to see them fight. So let's fight. Brock like, all right, come on. So Brock go outside, rush Goldberg, and Goldberg hits him with a spear. Boom. Over. Gets in the ring, celebrates. It goes off the air. So I guess they had to let him get some get back. I really don't know about this match. Somebody gonna squash somebody. I don't know who's gonna squash who, but it's not gonna be a regular match. Somebody is gonna squash somebody. Just don't know who yet. So, all in all, for a go home show, I don't know. Didn't really do nothing to get me excited for WrestleMania. I was already excited for it, but for other people, a go home show, you expect a lot of stuff to happen. Oh, I didn't talk about it because I was in a bathroom when it happened, but apparently Roman did go to the ring and Undertaker did come out. I don't know what happened because I was in the restroom, but I just know that if they let Roman Reigns beat the Undertaker, they better instantly turn Roman heel, because if they don't, they just ruin that man's career if he beats the Undertaker. But SmackDown's tonight. The review may be late because, as you guys know, I do play World of Warcraft, and 7.2 did come out today, and I need to play some of that and do a couple videos of that. I'll probably have SmackDown on, but I probably won't actually watch it till tomorrow. Like, probably watch it on Hulu, then I'll do a review over it. Also, I may do a little video because, you guys don't know yet because I haven't done any videos on it, but all my friends know that I'm a huge Harry Potter head. Like, Harry Potter is like my thing. Like, all my characters of World of Warcraft are Harry Potter. And I got my Fantastic Beasts today, so I probably will do a little video sometime soon explaining my obsession with Harry Potter, what I think about that whole series, and what I think about the newest movie, Fantastic Beasts, and where to find them, and the future 4 other sequels that we'll get from that, just in honor of it hitting Blu-ray today. So if you guys like my video, hit that like button, subscribe, and share. And as always, holler at y'all on the flip side. Thanks for watching my video, and holler at y'all later. Peace.